Hello everyone. I think I'm live. This is Aisha. I am recording this after the Christmas holidays. So we're actually just a day after Boxing Day, and I'm really excited to see all of you join us in the clinic where I am today. It's very quiet, it's very empty. There's no one around, so I need definitely to see some of your smiling faces and share some of your beauty experiences with me tonight. I will be discussing the top tips on how to regain a healthy glow following your festive party non-stop season. And I'll be giving you a complete breakdown on the step-by-step approach that I would take if I was doing a professional treatment for someone, and how you can replicate that exact treatment at home. So it's a complete behind the scenes with me, and I'll also be giving you some advice based on different problems. So if you are someone that has a skin issue and you're unsure of what type of cleanser to use, what type of exfoliation would suit your skin, a serum for example, or a cream, these are all things that I'm really interested by, and I'm obviously really excited to share my experience and also advice with you. But the more I hear about what you're going through, the better. So I can imagine that there's probably some people out there. I'm wondering whether any of you are feeling hungover today, because the season definitely was non-stop, and I feel like I drank Prosecco for far longer than I ever imagined I'd be able to. We really do enjoy a good old party back in Ireland. So I definitely had to combat some post-party days where I woke up looking grayer than I'd ever like to look in public. So this is definitely one of those moments where you start to see the effects, because it's not just like immediately after drinking that you see your skin look grayer. Maybe your feeling of tightness or dryness is more extreme. It's like a desert, like a Sahara, not just in your mouth, but also on the surface of your skin. There's a compounded effect from alcohol, and actually I think it's more the sugar that's in alcohol. That's what we should really be concerned about, because if you are wanting to get rid of lines, then having sugar in your diet is really poor for your collagen and elastin. It actually causes an issue where the tissue hardens and it creates lines prematurely. So sugar is actually the enemy. It's not just the ethanol, it's not just the alcohol, it's actually all the sugar and the things that make alcohol taste delicious that cause all the detriment to our skin. So we have actually got some really interesting ways that we can combat immediately after a binge, or let's say if you've had a lack of sleep as well, like when you've not been drinking enough water and you're just feeling a buildup of toxicity. We're actually immediately, like in that sort of acute phase, we're able to do some things that help to rescue your skin. But the longer term things that you should be doing at home every day help to strengthen your skin, so that when you do have these periods of stress or partying or whatever you're doing to create inflammation in the body, you're actually in a better position to handle it, and you're not going to fall into the depths of premature aging and causing all the things that we want to avoid. So there's definitely a lot to be said for allowing yourself that investment of making your skin healthier on a daily basis, because when it gets into that situation where you've maybe had a few nights out and you're feeling more tired and exhausted, you're less likely to cause premature aging. So I will be starting off with the cleanse that I use, as well as going into the exfoliation, the serums, masks, and the actual hydrators that I find work the best to combat very, very dry skin. Now, when I say dry, you may not have a dry skin typically, but usually after alcohol and any period of stress, you're definitely going to see that your skin looks more dehydrated, because all the water in your body has been zapped out. It's alcohol is a diuretic, so it kind of causes us to pee out more than we're taking in, and that's, you know, detrimental to your skin in terms of its hydration. So I'll be looking at the hydrations that I use to replenish that, and then just like some of the tools that I find really make the difference with my facial treatment that I do in the clinic and also at home. So there are some hacks. You don't have to just rely on your own hands. Like, there are things that you can actually do. These tools are like part of like the innovation in beauty now, is that it's a bit like an iPhone. You know, we've got all these gadgets and they really make the ingredients work so much better. So I'm quite excited to share these things with you, because a lot of people may be unaware that actually it's not just what you do with your hands, it's how you do it. And that's really what facialists are brilliant at doing. It's all about the application. So by knowing like the inside scoop on how these different steps all add up, it's a bit like cooking. So think of it like cooking. So if you have any kind of confusion around how you use your skincare at home, like, or if you've ever tried and attempted to do a facial at home and it hasn't done for you what you expected, then ask me, you know, straight out. I'll answer your questions. I can see that, sorry, I have to stand up sometimes just to have a look and see who's on the Instagram, but just ask me straight out like what your questions are. If you, for example, have a blemish and a breakout after alcohol as well, I think like knowing what you should be doing before you go to sleep is really important, because I'm going to approach this like, you know, post-holiday, it's worst case scenario. So I know, like, I can admit that I've been guilty of not washing off my makeup before I go to bed, and I know there's probably like people out there like falling down saying, how can you say that? But it's true, I have done that. And I think that, you know, anyone will tell you, if you go to bed post-party with your makeup on, like, it literally creates havoc on your skin. Fortunately, I wear mineral makeup, so I don't know if I'm trying to like justify it a little bit, but I would advise, whatever state you're in or whatever's been happening in terms of the party season, if you've been so busy, really wash your face before you go to sleep, and it will make it so much easier when you wake up the next day to make your skin glow quickly. So, you know, facials all around, we love talking about cleansing. I could probably talk about cleansing for hours. If you have any questions like, you know, what's your favorite cleanser? Are you a person that likes to use an oil? Do you like a gel cleanser? I know my favorites are actually a combination, because I think that the double cleanse is actually a good idea, especially if you're wearing makeup that has like foundations that are quite silky, usually have silica in them. So silicone, these stick to the surface of your skin and are more stubborn to get off. So I'm definitely an advocate of a double cleanse. Where I would usually start, if I feel my skin is also more dehydrated and, you know, just generally more dry, an oil cleanser. So the first step in this routine is to do your cleanse with a more luxurious product as well. So something that's actually going to comfort your skin, because this process, it's kind of all about recovery, and then we're going to replenish. We're going to put things in that have been lost. So this cleanser is an oil cleanser called Purity Solution. It has 3 different types of oils in it. It is highly effective at not just dealing with getting rid of dirt and oil and grime, but it's exceptionally nourishing to the skin. So it's good for any ages, even people that have an oilier skin. Even if you break out and you get like blemishes all around your jawline, don't be afraid of using an oil cleanser. It actually won't cause your skin to, won't leave any residue, won't cause your skin to look shiny or anything like that. When you mix it with water, it does something called emulsifying, which just means it turns a bit more creamy, a bit more milky. But you don't need very much of this. So start your cleanse with Purity Solution. Just massage it all over your face. Take it off with water. Use a cotton pad with some Purity Solution to take off your eye makeup if you haven't done it the night before. And you can actually massage it all down the neck. It's really good to get movement into the skin. So think about your tissue as being like a bit of a sponge. And if you've had a lot of toxicity in your body, it's not necessarily all going to go out. Like there's going to be things that are like remnant of even parties from 4 years later before that are still trapped in your face. So when you exercise and when you get your lymphatic going, especially with massage, it really helps to detoxify the tissue. And that's sort of the thing about the body and aging, is you're going to age prematurely if you can't deal with stress. So getting rid of that toxicity, getting a lymphatic going, is a brilliant way to start your treatment at home. So this will have a lot of slip. This oil cleanser will really let you get into these areas here where you have lymphatic, and all even here. Like I saw a really good video online by Abigail, who is an amazing facialist, and it's on there, it's free. She goes through her entire sort of step-by-step routine of what she does with her own personal facial massage and her sort of like mini lymphatic massage. So definitely go onto Abigail's Facebook and you will see that video posted. So that's just a little bit of an additional thing. So once you've done your first cleanse with Purity Solution, the next thing is we need to get the skin double clean. So we need to get into the pore of the skin and actually detoxify the pore. So imagine all those chemical, like toxins that are from alcohol, from sugar, from just general like inflammation. We need to release them. And the best way that I have found is to actually use my cleanser. So I use this Purity Clean Cleanser, which has peppermint in it. It's made with lactic acid, which is an amazing exfoliant, and actually very good at hydrating the skin as well. But you can use it all over the face. You can even use it very close to the eye area. I like to leave this on the skin as a mask, and then I get into the shower. So that whole thing of having heat and just like drawing out some of that impurity from being in warmer, like the steam of the shower, or if you're feeling in the mood and you've gone down to your local gym to use the sauna, then you can actually do this sort of as a little kind of treatment inside the sauna. So it's a great way to actually activate the ingredients like lactic acid when you're in heat. So I'll massage that all over my face and get into the shower, or I might even leave it on while I'm brushing my teeth, but it just lets the actual ingredients do the work for you. So I'm just seeing if there's anyone else here. I know that there are lots of professionals that also like to use cosmetics. So I just want to say happy holidays to you all. I hope you're getting a bit of a rest. That's just an aside. But as I said, with your Purity Clean, leave it on. Leave it on for 3 minutes, let it do the work for you, and then wash it off, okay? Now, sometimes people, they might have more sensitive skin. Lactic acid is an ingredient that will mildly resurface. So if you find that you've ever had an allergic reaction to a product in the past, or if you're like rosacea and you're more on the dry side and you really flush, then just at the start when you're doing these at-home facials, opt for the more gentle cleanser, which is called Benefit Clean, and that can be used by everyone. It's really hydrating as well. So we just really want to open your skin up. Now I also use another tool when I am doing my cleanse, which is the Foreo, and I've spoken about this a lot because I'm a huge fan, and it actually has a sonic wave. This one is my professional version, so it has a sonic wave that crosses over the skin, and that will naturally draw out impurities because it's a bit like a massage effect, but it's happening on a cellular level. And it also has these touch points which are very soft, so I prefer this to a Clarisonic brush. I feel that it's much safer to use by everyone, and you can also use it in areas of the face where the skin is thinner. So if you haven't yet invested in a Foreo, they come in all different shapes and sizes. You can get one that just does the cleanse mode, which is with the touch points. The reason why I like to use the more expensive version is because you actually get an anti-aging mode on it, which is a facial massage mode, and that's what you use the reverse side for. So that's where you can just see the ridges are a little bit more spaced out. So with the silicone, because it doesn't allow bacteria or fungus to grow on it, it's really great to have in your bathroom, and I've had mine for years, they last forever. So when you're doing your cleanse with your Purity Clean or your benefit clean, you can whip out your Foreo. And I have to tell you, after a night where you may have been throwing a few moves on the dance floor and your facial muscles are a little bit more contracted, it's incredible what I find this does, the combination of just the cleanse for those lines across the forehead. So my frown lines can seem a lot more severe after I've had a load of Prosecco. So I just, couldn't rate this more highly. And it just also seems to relax like other facial muscles, like all around your jawline. And you can just literally even just stand there and just contemplate life, and be like, what about last night? That kind of thing. But anyway, just keep going with your Foreo, and it lasts for a minute, and literally will increase the effectiveness of your cleanse. So once you've cleansed, the next step is to decide on exfoliation. So exfoliation, I find a fascinating topic. A lot of people exfoliate now, and they have scrubs, they have masks, they have all kinds of different devices even that they're using, like, Clarsonic or Foreo. We take the approach to exfoliation that it is important to have things that work in between the skin cells. So you don't necessarily want to be going at your face with a kind of scrubber that is going to be very harsh and it's going to damage the delicate barrier of your skin. But at the same time, as you get older, you may even notice this, your skin looks less bright, it looks kind of dull. And I think after the party season, a lot of you, I imagine, may have woken up just thinking, oh God, I'm definitely going to start my detox in January, like I'm ready to do this. So we want to detoxify your skin and we want to exfoliate it. But we want to do it in a way that's gentle yet effective. So I mentioned lactic acid. That's an incredible ingredient to use as an exfoliant. And I have a few options for you. So I kind of thought, well, it's good to have choices as well. And I use my products, like I mix them together, and I use them, sometimes even if it's a cleanser, I'll use it as a mask. And I really like the versatility that it brings because everyone's skin type is slightly different. So the first thing I want to introduce you to is Purity Detox Scrub, which is it has these little poppy seeds in it, and they're completely spherical. So, I'll just show you. That's like the powder, okay? And it has a little bit of salicylic, but not to the point where it's going to be irritating on even a sensitive skin. But what's interesting about the poppy seeds is they're completely round. So they aren't going to tear or like damage your skin in any way, but it definitely is a lot more grainier. What I would do if I wanted to give myself more of a gentle, like I always find with this, what surprised me the most is we do peels as well. And I found with the Purity Detox Scrub, it actually looks as though I've done a peel, even though I haven't. This is something that you can do at home. So it has a really good effect on the skin. It definitely helps to smooth it and make it look brighter. So you can mix it with water and just massage it for no more than like, a minute. It's enough. Use it on your neck. I actually, if I'm in the shower, I'll use it on my chest as well. But if you want to make it stronger, you have the option to mix it with your cleanser. So you could mix it actually with 2 pumps of the Purity Clean, and that gives it a little bit more intensity, and then you can leave it on as another mask. So this is just like an extra step in your overall routine. But this actually, I find, 2 or 3 times a week, it's perfectly safe to use, and it has the effect of giving you again, a better kind of canvas to put other serums and hydrators into. So that's Purity Detox Scrub. The next thing that I like to sort of play, like I use this pretty much as often as I can because it's one of our veteran exfoliators, Pure Enzymes. It is made with lactic. It's actually got enzymes from cranberries in it, but it's a gel. So you might not think of this as being as effective as a scrub, but remember what I said about the skin and how things work on a cellular level, how things work in between the skin cells. Well, that's what we're trying to do when we use what we call alpha hydroxy acid. So that's a bit of a technical word, but it's just something to look out for when you are choosing a mask, because the way this works compared to scrub is that it actually helps to sort of like loosen the connections. So it's a more longer term solution as well to brightening your skin. But in particular, I like this because it has antioxidants in it. So if you imagine like you have taken on all this kind of stress from your environment and from things that you're doing internally, the whole nature of skin and the body is balanced. So where we have oxidation, which is basically stress, you have the hero ingredient antioxidants, and they're from plants mainly. You've probably heard about them in superfoods, like blueberries have loads of antioxidants, and we use them in our skincare products as well. So when you're using a mask that's infused with antioxidants, it's also helping target that inflammation in your skin. So it's a little, not just, you see, this is the thing about advanced skincare, it's a treatment. So it's not just going to be targeting one aspect. You want to have, you know, a bit of exfoliation with a little bit of repair as well. And this is what Pure Enzymes does. So it's a great product. It's so light. I mean, like, this is one of the things that we do in all our facial treatments because it's so immediate. So you can leave it on the skin to dry for at least 5 to even 20 minutes. And you can just lie down. If you want to, at this stage, whip out some cucumbers to put onto your eyes, you can do that. I don't know if anyone gets puffiness. It's definitely something that, you know, you need to consider when you're doing your facial. If you've ever, I definitely notice that I get puffy eyes if I'm tired or if I've been like eating foods that I'm probably allergic to. So this is a great way to just like take a little bit of time out, put your Pure Enzymes on, and just let it do the work for you. So once you let this dry, you don't need to remove it with a cleanser. You can actually just wipe it off. I spoke previously about the microfiber mitts. I think they're actually a good idea. I have to say I've been using a microfiber mitt to remove my cleanser and my makeup. It doesn't have any chemicals in it. It's not the same as the mitt that you use to sort of like clean your windows with. These microfiber mitts they have a greater surface area. So you put it on and it will literally take off your eye makeup without any water, or just with water. So I found with the microfiber mitt, it's another good way to remove your masks. But you can always just dry your face. Like I would use paper towel to dry my face rather than a normal towel. Especially with people that break out, it's actually a really great way to ensure that anything that you're using is more hygienic if it's disposable. So using the paper towel to dry your face, and then we'll move on to the next step. So we've gone through all our different masks for exfoliation. Now I want to just kind of touch on what I would consider to be the best mask if you have had a lot of excess. And it's really weird the way that this mask literally just like says it on the label. This mask is called Detox, okay? And activated charcoal is an ingredient that a lot of companies have used because it's really effective for just drawing out impurities. This mask is made with more ingredients than just activated charcoal. Sorry, I think I've got a little bit of a frog in my throat. Okay, but I've recovered. With the Detox, it actually has salicylic acid in it. Jeez, I need another drink, hold on. If anyone else out there has a bit of a cough or a lung issue, let me know. Okay, so I don't even sound like myself anymore. So it's one of those masks that, if you can see on my hand, it's actually a lot creamier than what you would expect it to be, even though it has clay in it. So with the Detox mask, this is very cooling as well. So I like the way, if you're doing anything on the skin and you want to make, you know, a good improvement in terms of making like the inflammation go away quicker, you can definitely draw out some of the impurities with heat, but then you can also cool down your skin with different ingredients. So things like peppermint are amazing for cooling the skin. But equally, the things that, you know, we use professionally, and this mask is actually something that you can use at home, the Detox mask, But things that we use professionally to help like cool the skin, you know, I feel like just help with puffiness. So I'll be talking through some of my tools and some of the things that I use as well to help with inflammation. But I absolutely adore this mask. Like, this is one of the things that, you know, cosmetics launched, and I didn't really think, because we have another mask that we've been using for a long time called Clear, that is stronger. It has salicylic in it. So if any of you have got acne and you're like breaking out, or you found following a period of excess where your skin is more sort of prone to breaking out, then you can definitely use Clear. And I'll show you the difference with Clear because it's green in color. So I'll just put a little bit on my hand and you can see how it definitely has like a little bit more of a bite to it in terms of what it does on the pore. So this is Clear. Okay, so you can see that Clear, this mask actually has sulfur in it, so it's very good for drawing out impurities. If you have like an actual spot with pus in it, it's a good one to use as an overnight treatment as well to help heal that blemish really, really quickly. So you can combine both masks. There's no reason why you can't multi-mask and maybe use the Clear on your oilier areas and then detox on your cheeks and on your forehead. I do find both of them work particularly well with brightening the skin, but I'm not someone that breaks out. So, well, not as frequently as, let's say, an acne skin would. So I actually use detox to prevent breakouts as well as keep my skin looking fresh and bright. Whereas with Clear, it sort of depends like the time of year. You know, if it's summer, your skin's going to be a lot oilier anyway, so you may, you know, need that salicylic. Whereas in the winter months, you can often find that people's skin is drier. So that's where maybe Clear might just cause your skin to feel a bit tight after using it. It's really up to you, you can't go wrong. But as I said, if you are more acne prone, definitely use Clear. And if you find that your skin is less acne prone, then go for detox. So these masks dry really, really quickly, and you can literally just wipe them off. It's very, very easy to do with water. Once they've dried, then you just, you know, take it off with a mitt, and you'll probably find that your skin tingles as well a little bit. Like, it's kind of got this freshness feeling to it. It's like you've brushed your teeth and you feel this zing, and it wakes you up, because, you know, there's this whole thing where you kind of wake up exhausted and you need something just to invigorate your skin, and I find that these ingredients do that. So there's amazing healing properties in all our masks. They all have antioxidants in them as well, which is incredible, and these are, you know, super powerful with helping to prevent inflammation from like damaging your skin and causing it to premature age. So you would normally, after applying, you see, sometimes like a lot of facialists, they like to do the exfoliation part first, and then they will use like a clay mask. And that I think definitely helps to make the effect of your clay mask stronger, because you've done this exfoliation. But if you're in a bit more of a rush and you're like, I don't have time to do like 2 masks, I just want to do 1, then I would opt for the clay mask, because I think either detox or Clear actually have a little bit of exfoliation in them as well. So you can get that 2-in-1 of actually removing impurities as well as exfoliating your skin. So that's just the more speedy version. So once you've done your mask, the next step is serums. And you know, I find it, I don't know if you want to, if you have any questions, but if any of you are confused about serums, don't worry. It's easy to get confused. Even I'm confused, because there's so many to choose from, and they always, you know, have like on the packaging that they can help everyone. So knowing the breakdown of ingredients is sort of like where your professional certified therapist or nurse or doctor comes in, because the strength of these ingredients does vary. And serums, particularly, the reason why we use them is because they're water soluble. So, you know, a cream, like something like a moisturizer, that is usually in an emulsion. whereas water-soluble ingredients we find are more effective for penetrating into the living layer of the skin. So they've kind of always been used like to help with aging and preventing like, you know, other issues like even breakouts. Like we use a lot of different serums, but you need to be aware of what's going to work for your skin and any issues you have. So some of the symptoms that we see that serums really help with are definitely premature age skin and controlling like nearly what we call correction. So it's like where your skin used to be healthy when you were a child and now it's become unhealthy because of whatever the effects of lifestyle. You need things that bring it back towards health, and that's where these serums really come in. They're far more corrective. So there's some really exciting things that you can use. I like as a kind of universal serum that's good for everyone, CPR. And as the bottle in America, CPR is what they do to you when you go into A&E. They give you mouth resuscitation. So I mean, this was such a funny name for them to call it a serum, but I think that because of what's in it, it made sense for cosmetics. But yeah, if you want to think about reviving your skin, then definitely CPR has a whole range of what we call plant steroids. So these are things that bring down inflammation and redness. So if you do have rosacea, if you're flushing, you know, like if you see, I notice definitely after drinking that I will get pinkness in my cheeks. My eyes, the skin under my eyes will look paler to what's on my cheeks. So I flush. So this is a really good way to just tone down some of that redness and some of that inflammation. It looks like it has vitamins in it, so I'll just pump out a little bit for you. And you can see it kind of has this like brown color. I just put it up there. You can see that it sort of looks like a mineral, and it has an ingredient in it which is rosewood, which makes it smell absolutely gorgeous, and it's very soothing when you put it onto the skin, so you can actually use it quite close to the eye. So the antioxidants and the anti-inflammatories that are in this product help to reduce redness, but it's also antibacterial, and there's a plant in it which is from Australia. And what's really interesting about plants, you know, when they're wide out in like the rainforest, everything's out to get it, you know, and that's why it develops, that's why plants have this resilience that we then take out and we put into our skincare, because we need a bit of that action. We need a bit of that sort of like protection against the environment as well. So CPR is amazing for everyone, in particular rosacea and acne clients. If you want something that is going to be an antioxidant serum, but it's better for protecting your skin against premature aging, then I would go for a Firm. Okay, now this has not just got 10 different antioxidants in it, it actually has a firming peptide as well. So if you've woken up, or if you're starting to see that the lines around your eyes are more noticeable, these ingredients work very, very quickly to get that skin looking more toned and firmer. So obviously these types of areas, the lines that you get around like your mouth, you know, even those in the forehead, you can deal with them, and like genuinely you can see results from using products. It's just how you apply them and how frequently you use them. And you need to think about this as kind of going back into the skin gym, and this is where antioxidants help prevent damage to your face, and they will work really, really well, just like if you use them on a daily basis. So I like to use a serum like this. It's very light. Firm is really absorbs very, very quickly into the skin, and if you're a bit oilier, that's also a great thing, because you don't want to feel like there's things on the skin surface. Now finally, for anyone who has an oilier complexion and is actively breaking out, then I would choose Clarity. And this is a bit stronger because it does actually have vitamin A in it, and vitamin A is an ingredient that helps to, you know, recover your skin from all kinds of different issues. It will help to heal blemishes as well, and it can be used really simply, like every single day. But for anyone who's sort of out there that's unsure with acne, definitely visit the blog. We've got loads of really good testimonials and stories on how you can help get your skin back on track. And we also provide free advice. So anyone that's like unsure, because acne is a bit more of a complicated skin concern, and we're happy to give advice by email, whatever you need, just get in touch. So you do your serum, okay, that will dry in seconds, and then you need to decide if you want to use a cream or not. Now I'm saying that because not everyone needs a cream. You don't always have to feel like you need to moisturize your skin. It's, you know, all about what's actually in the product rather than it just being like mandatory that we cleanse, tone and moisturize. It's more about like making it work for you. So we know that alcohol dehydrates your entire body, especially if you're not drinking enough water and you aren't eating enough raw veg, because that's where you get a lot of water from as well. So you could choose between a product called Humidify, which is really smart because it actually improves hydration in the skin by 42% after 6 weeks. So think about it as being something that will make your skin improve its water content, and it's measured and it's effective long term, rather than just like temporarily plumping and causing your skin to look and feel more hydrated. So it's actually really smart, because I don't know any other moisturizer out there that can make that claim. It's surprising because there's so many to choose from. But this has technology in it which is completely new, and it mirrors the way the skin would hydrate itself. So it's just a really light cream. You know, you don't need to use very much of it. You'll probably notice that I use about half a chickpea amount of a cream for the whole face. And the main thing is, don't put the cream into your hands, because you'll just end up wasting it. If you just pick it up with your fingertips and then spread it on your face and close to the eye, you'll get a lot more use out of that little amount of product. So that's just a little tip from me. So Humidify is amazing for anyone who wants something that's also going to be anti-aging. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Now, Shineless is more for your oilier and acne-prone skin. So think of it as being like the opposite end of Humidify, but still very good for relieving that sensation of tightness. So what's really interesting about when you do these facial treatments is your skin feels fresher, it feels brighter, it looks more plump, but it's not sort of like loaded with ingredients. Like, I know we've done a cleanse, we've done masks, we put on a syrup, but you're not going to feel like weighed down with all these ingredients like sitting on the surface of your skin. Everything absorbs really well because it has delivery mechanisms. So with Shineless, it's fine if you have even an oily skin. Definitely go for it. Use this because it's got the antibacterial properties, and it's going to help prevent your breakouts longer term. So you can now use something that's safe and effective for your skin type. So we've done the moisturizing part. Then we can, you know, think about things that we want to use maybe around the eye area. I just wanted to pull out my jade roller. These have become really popular. I think it's a lot to do with just the information now, where things coming from the East, the Chinese traditions of using like jade. It's incredible actually how cooling this is on the skin, and it's really easy to use. Like, you can't go wrong with a jade roller. And the whole idea is that you're actually, again, massaging and drawing away impurities by stimulating your lymphatic. So there's two sides. There's this big roller side and there's the baby roller side. And the baby roller side is literally what you use close to the eye area. And you can just go in one direction with it, and it just feels gorgeous. So like, if you've had a night where you're like, oh my God, I don't know if I can face the world without eating Burger King, then don't eat Burger King. Use your jade roller and just like have like, I don't know, an almond smoothie or something instead. But this will revive your skin, and in combination with the serums and creams, it works even more effectively. So that's just the first option. The second option is the Foreo. So as I said before, don't forget about anti-aging mode with the Foreo. So when you hold down this, it's going to make a buzzy noise. Okay, so here we go. This has a sonic wave, and it will, as you massage it around your face, it will actually give you that whole lymphatic stimulation, but it's a lot stronger, and you can use it in your temples, and you can actually work it all the way down around your jawline. And even here, where you have lymphatic as well, is a really good place to kind of like use it to help, you know, detoxify and actually deal with puffiness. So that's my supersonic version, and you can combine both, the jade roller and the Freo, or you can just use one, depending on your budget. I don't know how generous, I don't know if anyone got anything beauty related for their Christmas present. I would love to know, especially if you were given a cosmetic product or anything from Medical Beauty. It would be amazing to hear about what you were gifted. So we have massaged, you know, even let's say if you can only use your hands, give yourself a little gentle, you know, massage, like use your fingertips in and around the eye bone. You'll feel amazing. And then the final step is the eye product. So don't neglect the eye area, because that is the first part of your face to suffer. It's where the skin is the thinnest, and it's where you're going to see premature aging. So we like to use active ingredients that will repair. We've got the more expensive version, which does last for 8 months, called OptiCrystals. It's like a unicorn color. People just literally go wild for this. I mean, you can see it. It's like you only need like, let's see, that's the amount that I would use. Unicorn. It's not even 2 pinpricks. It does double in size. It has liquid crystals, alpha lipoic acid. It's the, you know, kind of supercharged version of any eye product, and it definitely keeps the skin in your temples nice and thick. I feel this is the area that people really neglect when they apply their serums, but it's the one that actually draws everything. Like if you think about your jawline, it keeps everything nice and taut. So really just tap this eye product called OptiCrystals in and around the eye bone, and it will really help with dehydration, which I see all the time underneath the woods lamp when we do our skin analysis. Everyone has these panda eyes, and it's just, you know, for not realizing that the skin here definitely needs extra attention. Now, if your budget doesn't stretch, or if you're sort of like a little bit younger and you can't yet see lines, then Eye Genius is really good for you. This has 5 different peptides in it, and one of them deals really well with blue dark circles. So it's not the kind of brown dark circles that you might see if you've sun damage. This is the blue version. And you only need literally, like, again, a tiny amount of this. Use your fingertips to press the product in and around the eye bone. What I also like about Eye Genius is it has this light reflective ingredient. It's called mica. So you put that on and your eyes immediately wake up. It's like you look like you've put makeup on, even though you haven't. So it's another tip just to consider, is like illuminating your eye area will help to draw attention away from dark circles if you're feeling like a lack of sleep is catching up with you. It's another little tip. I'm sure all the kind of models and people that look, you know, picture perfect, I'm sure they're using mica in their eye products. So yeah, you just finish off with your eye product, and you can either then, you could do this during the day and put on your mineral makeup and be good to go. But if you don't wear mineral makeup, the final step is always to put on some Reflect. We use a spray SPF called Reflect. It's completely clear. You spray it on, it's really light, and it just dries instantly. So that's a great way if you don't want to be piling on more ingredients, creams or anything like that, because sometimes mineral or like SPF can be too thick and make you look quite white. So I love Reflect for that reason. Now, during the day, if you have been drinking, you're going to find that your skin feels dehydrated. Like, it doesn't matter how much you do in that facial treatment, there's going to come a point in the day that you're going to need to top up your hydration. So what I do is I use a combination of 2 things. I use Mystic, which for me, I don't know if you can see it. I don't know why I keep throwing bottles at you like this, but anyway, I'm just kind of, you know, playing around. Mystic is heavy water, and it is really good for not evaporating out of the skin too quickly. So you keep this in your handbag. you do whatever you want to do. If you want to decanter it into a smaller bottle, and you just literally spray yourself with Mystic, and it will refresh and it will replenish and it will make you feel like hydrated. Like even if you feel like a mummy and you're like, you know, kind of zapped of all your natural moisture, this Mystic will give it back to you. It also helps prevent and combat premature aging, environmental damage. It's magic water. So keep that in your handbag as a backup. And then if you need something a bit richer, because I have to say it's freezing in London. I don't know who else is cold, but I am so cold today. The other product that I like to use is a balm called Rescue. And Rescue is shea, jojoba, all these lovely natural oils that you can find that will hydrate your skin, as well as healing peptides. So I'm just going to put a little bit out. It's one that we've used for like donkeys, Rescue. And it's a balm that actually, probably can't see it very clearly. It's completely clear. There you go. Rescue balm. Now this can sometimes feel a bit thick. So with the balm, like on a day like today, it doesn't feel thick. I usually just tap it onto the skin like this. I don't actually massage it in. Just press it in like this. I find it more effective, especially around the eye area. But if I want to make it lighter, I mix Rescue together with Mystic. Or if you wanted to, you could even mix it with one of your farm serums. When I say a farm serum, I mean any of your cosmetic serums. So it just helps to stretch it out. But this is Rescue for me is just like that kind of fail-safe approach to keeping my skin plump. And I can even rub it into like any other areas where it may feel a bit dry, like around your nails, your cuticles, and it will stay in place like a shield to keep everything nice and hydrated and plumped. So I have given you my breakdown of absolutely everything that you can throw at yourself post-party and getting ready for the new year as well. It's a great facial to do pre-party. So it's just to give you some ideas and inspiration, and obviously have you, think about cosmetics in a dynamic way, because it is a professional line. And we do also offer peels. So I don't know if any of you have ever had a peel done before. I mean, I'd be really interested if you could post your experiences around what type of results you've seen for peels, or if there's any reason why some of you may not be doing peels already, because there are some things that, you know, peels of the past were considered to be more harmful and more toxic. But the peels of today, I have to say, they really hit the spot. So, for example, I did a peel less than a week ago, and where I would normally be doing my Botox by now, you can probably see how I am quite, active there. I haven't felt the need to top up my Botox just yet. So I don't know if it's a great money saving tip for anyone who's sort of like post-Christmas feeling the pinch. The cosmetics peels are really effective for just like getting you over like that hump if your skin is misbehaving, but it's also a great way to prevent lines in the longer term. So if you are interested in having a peel done, then you should definitely get in touch via Facebook or Instagram. Just message us and we can reach out, and we've got a whole network of professionals that will analyze your skin and choose a treatment plan that suits you. So it's just something to consider maybe in the new year when you're ready to embark on a whole new skin regime, as I'm sure a lot of you feel really inspired to do something different in 2018. But for me, I'm sad to kind of leave. I feel like I could go all night. I'm not going to be seeing any of you until the new year, but I have to say thank you so much for joining. And as I said, looking forward to receiving your questions and answering your questions. And next time we will be discussing our 28-day skin kit challenge, which is starting in January. I'm really excited about it. And as I said, would want to, inspire you even more in 2018 than I have done in 2017. Wishing everyone a happy new year, and bye-bye for me for now. Okay.